Hi everyone, so today I'm going to be teaching you how to play a four-part hymn on the organ, in this case Abide With Me. In the future I plan on making some more videos about organ technique in general. Um, this hymn is going to use a lot of different techniques, so I'm going to cover them as I approach them. Um, but with that, let's get started. So the first thing we want to do is analyze this hymn. First thing I would notice is this key signature here, 3 flats, telling us that we're in E flat major. This E flat and G right here, E flat in the bass. This version of the hymn is a little bit different from the one that I play. There's some very small differences, so I'm going to quickly correct those. This C is a B flat in the one that I learned. So A flat, B flat, C, D, E flat. And then here we have these optional notes. We're just going to ignore these, written in the small note heads. Don't worry about those. You can play them if you like, but the version that I learned didn't have them. They're not really necessary. Um, Other thing I would add is here we have F, A flat, F. I like to add a C here, add the fifth to the chord, make it a little bit more complete. Okay, so that's all with the corrections to the hymn. The next thing I'll talk about is how to handle repeated notes. So repeated notes in the melody, you want to re-articulate. Talk about that a bit more later, but we're going to start with the pedal part here. You can see here we have beats 1 and 2 on E flat. So strong, weak, then strong, weak. So right here, when we have a note tied from a strong to a weak beat that's not in the melody, we typically tie it over. So we're going to play this B flat like a half note. And I'll just quickly go through the pedal part and see if there are any others that need to be tied over. Right here. Right here. Right here I would probably tie this just to make it a bit easier to play. And I would also probably take this E flat in the lower octave. You could do it either way. Okay, so that gets us done with that. Next, we're going to want to go through how to actually pedal these notes. So I'll play through it once, just the pedal part. So let's write in those pedal marks. So I started here with right toe, then left toe, then right toe. And then here you have an option. You could either start with your left toe and substitute to your left heel. You need your heel on this G because your toe needs to be ready to play this A flat and the B. So two options, you can either put your heel here, or you can do a toe and substitute to heel. I'll write toe to substitute to heel, and I'll do the other option down here where it's the same. So we do toe, substitute to heel. And that frees up our left toe to play this A flat and B flat. Right here, we're doing a toe glissando, so we have our heel on G, and we do the left side of our foot on the A flat, and the right side of our foot on the B flat. And then from here, the C, D, E flat, I do left heel, right toe. Left heel, right toe. So let's do that first phrase again. We have right toe, left toe, right toe, left toe, substitute to heel, left toe, left heel, right toe. Right here, we're at the end of a phrase. You can see here in verse 1 and verse 2, we have a comma here and semicolon here. And we have a repeated note. The repeated note's actually not really relevant. So right here, this is the end of a phrase. And this is where people who are singing along are going to need to take a breath. You can't sing forever without breathing. So right here, I'm just going to put a little breath mark. And how I usually do this is I would do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Lift on that and. So then we get to this next phrase. We have E flat, D, C, B flat, A, E. We're on our right toe on E flat still. And then right heel, left heel, and here we have another toe glissando. Left toe, slide over to left toe. So you're playing with the right side of your left toe and then the left side of your left toe to get this B flat to A flat. And then a right toe up to this E flat. And we're going to substitute for a left toe because we want to free up this this right toe to play this F. And then right toe, left toe, right toe, left heel, left toe. So playing the second phrase. Substitute the toes. And this is the end of the second phrase. So we're going to have a little lift here. Now this part's basically the same. This one I'll show off the second option. So right here on this G we did a toe to heel. But you could also go straight to a heel here. Right toe, left toe, right toe, left heel. And then we have left toe, glissando to left toe, and then left heel. And here you're going to put your heels together and find the interval of a fourth and get your right toe onto this F. And I'll play through that third phrase. This is the end of the third phrase. We have a breath mark. On that 4 and of this measure, we're going to lift a little bit early. And what we do here, we take advantage of this lift and we move our toe up a third to this A flat. And we're going to do a glissando down to the G. So that's going to look like this, starting from this E flat here. Sorry, from this F here. So we're going from this F at the end of the previous phrase. We have a little breath and we lift and we move up to the A flat. Slide down to the G. So we take this F with our right heel and then right toe across to the E flat, left toe to B flat, right toe to C, then left toe on A flat. And then here, if you want to play this high E flat, you'll probably want to do a toe glissando from A flat to B flat so that your right toe is available for this high E. I typically play it with this low E, so I'll do my right toe here. And then a left toe on this low E flat. So I'll go through the pedal line one more time. 1, 2, and 1, and 2, and 1, and 2, and 1, 2, and 1, and 2. That was wrong. So 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 2. Lift, move to that A flat. And if you want to play the E flat as written here, then you'd play this section like this. And that's the pedal line. So you'll want to practice that several times on your own. Get to the point where you can play it without looking down, just by feeling the keys. So the next thing we'll do is the tenor line. And we're going to tackle it phrase by phrase again. So if we look at this first phrase, we start on a B flat. B flat is our highest note in the tenor line. And our lowest note in the tenor line is this E flat here. And that means we can take advantage of a 5-finger position, with our pinky on E flat and our thumb on B flat. So we'll do left hand finger 1 on this B flat. Now we have a repeated note. It's not a repeated note from a strong to a weak beat. It's going strong, weak, strong. So it's from a strong beat to a strong beat. So we'll take a little breath here so that you can really hear the rearticulation of the note. And then 1, 2, 3, 5. Repeated note, strong beat to a strong beat. So take a breath. 5, 1. Then here we're going from a weak beat to a strong beat. So it's not a strong to a weak. We'll take a breath. And then here, this is a strong beat to a weak beat. So this we just tie over. And then here we take a breath. from the weak beat to the strong beat. So once again, here we take a breath too, because not because of the repeated note at the end of the phrase, but because not because of the repeated note, but because this is the end of the phrase. So the whole all the voices are going to lift right here, and everybody's going to take a breath. And let's see how this goes. This mostly stays in the same 5-finger position. The only difference is we have this C flat right here up above. So we're going to start here the same. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. And then here we're going to stretch our thumb up to 1 on C. And we're going to play right here 1, 2. This is from a weak beat to a strong beat. So we do re-articulate this little breath. And we can use this opportunity to get our thumb back on the B flat, which we'll need for this third phrase here. And then that means we end here on 4. Play that one more time. Forgot to write in this E flat we take with 5. So we're basically trying to minimize the time we spend outside of this normal 5-finger position from E flat to B flat. So right here with this repeated note, we take an opportunity to reposition. And of course we take a breath here because it's the end of a phrase. For the first half of this phrase, we're in the same 5-finger position. It's going to do 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. And then here we're going to stretch up to this E flat. And we're getting into a new position. Five-finger position on A flat this time. So we go 1, 2, 3, 3, 4. Let me get this properly. 3, 4, 5. Right here, these two C's are tied. Then here we re-articulate. Now play the whole third phrase. Now let's look at the fourth phrase. So we have the lowest note is this G, I believe. Yeah, so the range is just from G to C. So you can probably put finger 4 on G if you like. You can put finger 5 on G. I think I'll just do finger 4 on G. And so then I put finger 2 on B flat in that position. Here, strong beat to a strong beat, we re-articulate the tenor line. 2, strong beat to a weak beat, we tie this. And then here, we're going to a strong beat, so we rearticulate. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll play that last phrase one more time. And I'll play through the whole tenor line one more time. And just pay attention to how minimal the motion in my left hand is. The choice of fingering that I've done, it keeps everything pretty comfortable, and you don't have to do any awkward stretches or anything, which is always good for fingering. So, starting from the beginning. And you can also hear there how I rearticulate for repeated notes to make it a little bit more clear that the note is repeating and not just sustained, and how I break for the breath marks. So now we're going to do the same thing for the soprano and alto. This one will be a little bit more challenging because we have the bass in our feet, we have the tenor in our left hand, and the alto and soprano are both going to be taken by the right hand. So the right hand will have to play two voices at a time, and as a consequence of that, it'll be a little bit more difficult, but let's go break it down. So we'll do the first phrase. So I'm starting here with 4-2. This melody note says strong to a strong beat, so we rearticulate. Although for the melody, we would do it even for strong to a weak beat. The melody note's the line that most people sing, so that one we're going to be more careful about repeated notes in general, and we're going to always rearticulate. And then here we have 4-1. 3-1. 2. And now you might see this tenor line. This tenor line is going E flat to E flat. And you might think that you want to rearticulate this E flat. But the soprano melody is going to take priority for this. And because the soprano melody is not a repeated note, it's going from E flat to B, we're going to tie this. We're not going to rearticulate the alto line. And we're also going to take this as an opportunity to reposition. So we're going to do 2 substitute to 1. And we're going to play this B flat with 4 because we're going up to the C here. And then I'll just do the soprano line first. 4, 5, 4, rearticulate. 4, 3, 2. There's a couple of different options here for the alto. So you could do it like this. You can substitute over to finger 2 on this E flat so that your thumb is available for the D. Or you can just do a thumb glissando. It's pretty easy. Just either way works. So right here, this E flat is going to be rearticulated, which is your opportunity to switch fingers if you choose to do it that way. Already didn't like that. So we have 4-1. And then here, when you lift this alto voice for the breath, that's your opportunity to take it with finger 2, 5-2, and then 4-1. 4-2. Let me see if I did this right. Here, we're not going to do finger 4. We're going to take this lift opportunity, switch fingers to 5. So 5, 4, 3, I believe. No, not even that. Oh, we're going to do a substitution here for these parallel thirds. So here we do 3-4, substitute to 5-3. So we have 4, substitute to 5, and then 4. So all together for that first line, for the first phrase, substitute to your thumb, lift, substitute to your index finger, lift, substitute to your pinky, substitute finger 5, one more time in tempo. Reason we're doing all these finger gymnastics is because we want all the singing lines to be a smooth legato, because we're trying to imitate vocal music. We're going to accompany singers when you're playing a hymn, so we want everything to be a smooth legato like a human voice is. Then at the end of this phrase, we lift everything for a breath, and we're going to switch to 2-1. Here we lift the alto line with our strong beat to strong beat. And then here we have a strong beat to a weak beat. We tie this. Here we lift a strong beat to a strong beat, or a weak beat to strong beat, however you want to look at it. And here, strong beat to a strong beat. Lift that alto line. Same here. And then here we have a strong to a weak beat. We tie. The reason we put finger 2 on this G, that puts us in a nice position to hit that highest note with our pinky. So with a C, we'll do finger 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. And here we have 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, or no, is that right? Yep, 1, 3. This part's a little tricky because then you're going to substitute your index finger on the B flat so your thumb can take this D. So we have 1, 3, 4, 2, and this is a glissando. Finger substitution, I mean, not a glissando. So we have a finger substitution here. 3, 4, finger 2 takes over for the thumb, freeing up your thumb for the D. And this is 5, 1. This part's the first half of the third phrase, start the same. 4, 2, breath here, 4, 1, 3, 1. Two. And again, we are going to slur these two notes. We're not going to lift the alto here because the melody takes precedence. Here, we don't go up to this high C. We only stay at this B, so we can take this with finger 5 this time. And we'll substitute finger 2 to finger 1, like this. Right here, we rearticulate this melody note. Five, 4, 4, 3, 2. Here we'll take this C with our thumb, 2, 1. This E flat is tied. Take that with our thumb. And then here we take it with 2, 4. And this E natural is tied. Very comfortable under the hand. And of course, we're at the end of a phrase, we lift everything. And we're going to put fingers 1 and 3 on the D and F here. We don't have any repeated notes, so really nothing about rearticulations to worry about. So we have 3, 1, 4, 2, 5, 1, 4, 2, 3, 1, 2, 5, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1, 2. So we're staying in this 5-finger position on from D to A flat. Now here, the breathing will change a little bit. If you're going to the second verse or any of the other verses, you'll do a breath here. But when you're at the end of the piece and you're on the last verse, you'll hold it for the full duration. And so how you want to practice this is break it apart to 3 different combinations. So you have your pedals and your left hand, you have your pedals in your right hand, and you have your right hand in your left hand. And practice all 3 of those until you're very comfortable with it. You're getting all the lifts correct, all the fingering correct, and you're able to play through the whole hymn. And then slowly put it together with all 3 parts. Make sure that you're being very diligent about when you're lifting notes, using the right fingers, all of that. And putting it all together, this is how it sounds. I hope this was helpful, and next time I'm going to go through a variant of this where you take the alto and tenor in the left hand and your right hand solos the melody. Let's do a quick little sample of that if I can. I'm still learning this. I can't do it right now, but I'm going to learn that and then I will make the tutorial video for you. It's just an alternate way to play it where you can solo out the melody with a nice reed stop or something, make the melody stand out a little bit more, and your left hand takes the role of doing the alto instead of your right hand in addition to the tenor. Anyway, thank you, and see you next time.